Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Today, this episode, we are going to talk about the mirror test. Yeah, the mirror test. The mirror test is about, facing reality. Just the way we look into the mirror, the way we look at the mirror. You see yourself. You can't hide from the mirror. So today. We're going to talk more about facing the reality and also, facing the challenges, which is very hard. But at least you got to face the challenge, no matter, no matter the situation, no matter the place. So today I'm going to focus on excuses. Why you can't run away from the mirror, from your shadow. You can't run from your shadow. So the mirror test is about the challenges, the situation, the tough situations that makes you want to go back to your former habits that you don't like, that makes you want to run away from what's really important, that's going to help you. So in all you do, you can never run away from your shadow, okay? And you can never, make excuses if you want to go far. So today I'm going to talk more about facing the reality, which is very hard for everyone, which is not easy. In things we do in our daily lives, you have to notice that there are some things that draws you back in your daily habits. Maybe procrastination, maybe fear. Yeah, sometimes it can be fear, and sometimes it can be judgment, about what people is gonna say, which is very normal. It happens to everybody. But the mirror test is very important in building character. Because if you don't face the mirror, if you don't look into the mirror, you won't see yourself, okay? Everybody dresses up, you want to go out, you look into the mirror, which is very important. So that's the same way if you want to build your character, you look into yourself. And those are the habits, your way of life. You got to separate things that work and things that don't work. You have to separate both, okay? Because that's kind of the mirror, When you look into the mirror, you got to see yourself. Maybe your hair is not well kept. Maybe you need to apply something, one thing or the other. So that is the same way you look into yourself. You know what to apply, what to remove, that will make you, to move forward, okay? So it's very important that you look inside, you look inside and see for yourself what really matters more than the outside, okay? Because most times people are not going to help you in terms of changing your inner character, your inner self. Is up to you. It's only you that knows how things go for you. So the only thing people can do is to judge or maybe try to correct what they don't know, or sometimes what they know. But it's up to you, to take the responsibility for yourself. You have to ask yourself, what do I need to remove and what do I need to add? Sometimes if you feel like you can't do it on your own, you should be looking up to the people, the kind of a life you want in the future. You look up to the people that have already gone through that phase. Maybe they can help. Maybe watching them or reading about them could help you, adjust your own. You understand? Because in my own story, it started little by little. I started noticing patterns, behaviors, habits that doesn't work for me. And I'm not going to lie, spiritually, you have to be prayerful, because some things is not just about changing a character just in a day or in a week, is almost every day something. It's something you apply all the time. You keep doing it daily, weekly, monthly, daily, weekly, monthly, and that doesn't stop you from, living your life. Only you know what to remove and what to add. You understand? Because yeah, watching other people can also help, because sometimes you don't know your left, your right, you don't know where to start. Okay. Maybe example, I'm gonna give you example. Maybe you watch too much movie, maybe you play too much video games, and most times the video games, if you're gonna ask yourself, am I profiting? What am I profiting from watching? So what am I profiting from, playing game all the time? So these are the things you're gonna ask yourself. Some questions are meant for you to ask yourself. What am I profiting from this? How is this helping me? Where is this leading me to? It's very important. So you don't need somebody to ask you. You ask yourself some questions. Some questions you need to ask yourself. Okay. So and make sure whatever you do, you pray. Whatever faith you believe in, you keep praying. It helps, because sometimes a week or a day cannot just erase some old habits. It's going to take time, step by step, so it's never easy for anybody, but it is not meant to be easy. From the things I noticed, it was never meant to be easy, because from my own story, it wasn't easy. Okay, there's still a lot to talk about. I'm still gonna use myself as an example so that people will believe more, because for now, you have to start where you are, by helping yourself first, and also watching and reading from others. So that's the only way you can build something. That's the only way you can build character, build a future. Ask yourself enough questions, and look into the mirror and see for yourself your shadow. You can run from your shadow. You can run from seeing yourself in the mirror. Okay. So this is all I have for this episode. Okay. Next time we'll look into more topics about building character. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to Start Where You Are. Share my videos, my post. So I'll be teaching more in the next episode. Okay. Yeah. And thank you for listening. For whoever this message is going to help, pay attention, start working, start acting, so that day by day you're gonna build day by day. Okay. And thank you for watching. Bye.